Before we start, if you like the content of these videos, please like, share and comment on the video, subscribe to the channel and click on the notification icon. Also, along with that, I would like to say that in the description below, you will find the link to our free Discord server as well as the Facebook page that we have, and you are very welcome to join there. You will also have the links to the multi-time frame charts that we will be discussing in this video in the description below. If you want to join the pre-market call, the link to the Google Meet for the pre-market call is given in the description below. So if you please want to join, just click on that at 8:45 a.m. EST. Now let's get down to business. Hello traders. So last 2 days we had a lot of bounce up, bounce down. We are in the trading range and we will continue to be in the trading range. We are in the range of the mother bar from Friday. And we went back to the highs today after the dump yesterday. We could not hold the highs and came back. And right now, if you see, we are at the close of the mother bar from Friday, which is at 5217. It has currently broken down the support that we had. We were looking at the 5228 area even yesterday morning, and based on that we went long. However, the 5228 area has been broken down today, so we tried to get above the mother bar's high once yesterday and once today, and both of the times we failed. And so there is a higher possibility tomorrow that we will keep going down towards the low of this mother bar. So let us again start from the monthly chart. So looking at the monthly chart, we are really bearish. We had a number of supports and resistances on the top. We broke all of them while we went back up last night, and today morning again we came down all the way. Now tomorrow we will have to see if we break this down and keep going farther down to the 5069 area or to this area around 5046. It is also possible that on a monthly chart, which is where the 813 EMA is still green, we come and touch the low at the 5003.75, which is the 13 EMA on the monthly chart at this point of time. And if we continue to get down further, we can get to this 4967 level. This whole area will actually be a kind of support. So this whole area will act as a kind of support between 4965 and 4950, and finally we may break that down. We may come to this area again, 4875. That will also be another major support. If you see, there is a micro gap between these 2 months, and finally we may try to come down to 4832, which is the 20 EMA on the monthly chart, and then we will see where the price can move. On the upside, we will keep all these lines available still, because even if the price wants to move up, I do not think there is a lot of possibility for the price to move up at this point, but if we move up, we will have to keep an eye on these different levels that we had marked earlier. Looking at the weekly chart right now, we did go back into this box again. We tried to break out of this box and we failed right there, and we came below the middle of the week and we closed below the middle of the week today. So there is still another 10 minutes for the market to close. We will see where it closes, if it closes here or it just bounces back up and closes above 2.8. That is also possible in the last 5 minutes. You never know that. But anyways, now if we are breaking down this 5208 area, we can very much come down to the 5170 to the 5153 area, and further down we can see the bottom of the week, which is at 5120. And after that we can find some support in the 5062 area, and once the 5062 area gives up, there is a big possibility that we can come down to this 5015 to the 4963 area on the weekly chart. And remember, the monthly 20 EMA is also around this area, and if we keep falling down on the weekly chart below 4962, then we will find ourselves somewhere in this zone, which is from 4940 to 4917. And then finally we can come down to this breakout zone somewhere in this bull flag that we have. This was the first weekly micro channel that we had that started, and this was the breakout of that. So there is a possibility at some point of time, maybe not this week, but in subsequent weeks, if the weekly bears are looking for a second leg down, we may come and test these areas at 4842. For now, I do not think that the 5120 line will be broken, but it can be broken, right? Anything is possible at this point. Just like we were going up like crazy, we are coming down like crazy at this point. So we will have to see where the price closes, how it closes today, and then if we are breaking down this 5120 area, we can come to 5063 and the subsequent levels. On the upside, my idea will be that if we can get above the middle of the week again, we hold this area, then there is a possibility we can come back to this 5295 area on the weekly chart, but there will be other resistances as well in the middle, so we will take a look at that when we move on down to the lower time frames. Apart from that, I will keep the lines on the top of the weekly chart just that way, because nothing has changed as of now. These are just telling us about the weekly midpoints, the open and the closes. So I will leave it like that. And so for now, as long as the high of this week is not taken out and we do not get into this box, we do not get above this 5346, 5375 line, bulls will not have a chance. We may try to climb back up again to the 50% area, and then we can dump from there again. So right now the bears are in full control. We have a outside down bar on the daily chart today, so we will have to see if the low of that gets taken out tomorrow morning, and we'll keep going down towards 5120. Now if around 9:30, if we are already at 5120 area and we see there is a possibility of a bounce, that can be a very good long opportunity which can bring us back to the 5203 areas, maybe in the whole RT8 session tomorrow. Because at this point of time, I still do not believe that we are going to go below 5120 at least this week, just based on whatever we have on the weekly ATR. Let us now take a look at the daily chart. We will consider this as the mother bar. This is the mother bar that we have. So once we broke out of the top of the mother bar today, I was expecting that it will go and hit this 11%, but we failed. We failed right at the close of Thursday's bar at this breakout point. And then we came all the way down. It has broken all the support areas that we had. It has even broken down the 5228 line that we were looking at yesterday morning before the market started, and we are somewhere close to 5200 area. And if you see, this is the bounce from the 33% line that we had. So if we now break this 33% line and we keep getting down, this will be our first target on the daily chart, which is the 21% fib of this mother bar, followed by 5145, and then finally we can come to 5120. If we come down to 5120 and we still try to prod down, I am expecting that we will find some bulls in this area which might take the price up by 20-30 points and then drop back again to these areas at 5096, 5073, 5046. So these are all the extensions of the same mother bar that we have on Friday. On the upside, I would like to see that the price goes above this 5233 line again. If the price goes above this 5233 line, which is the 50% of the mother bar, we can come up to 5249 again, and then we can come up to the top 1/3 area. And I am thinking that if even if the bulls try to do that, this will be a very good area where the bears will become active again and push the price down based on the daily chart. But if you see here, we tried to get above the mother bar once, we tried to get above the mother bar twice, we failed both the times, and now we are at such a level that it seems highly probable that now we will try to test the bottom areas of the mother bar at this point of time. But we will also need to remember that there is a kind of a wedge support at this point here. We may come to this line somewhere and then bounce from there as well. So that is also a possibility. However, if we break this line down and we break the 5120 area down, then there is another possibility that based on the lower time frame chart, we will get another measured move towards the downside and keep breaking down the support levels and move down. The daily ATR ended somewhere around 160, 150 points today. So if we have to fall another 150 points from where we closed, considering that we are opening here itself, we may actually gap down and open. Then at that point of time, our 150 point target can be somewhere between this 21% and the 33% extension of this mother bar, which is from 5073 to 5046. So if the bears are really serious and they do not care about the weekly ATR, there is a high possibility that we will come down to these areas tomorrow. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we were kind of moving sideways. We were moving up in a channel, but we were moving sideways. But this time we have broken down below the channel and we have 2 consecutive bear bars here. So now this is telling me that this move down can have another move down, and if we are trying to get a measured move of this whole thing to the downside, then there is a possibility that we come down to the 5051 level. This will be the measured move based on this 4-hour chart. Now we do not know whether there will be one more candle on the 4-hour chart and then there will be a pullback. However, this whole move is telling me that once we break down below the 5198, this 5188 area, the chart may keep on moving to the downside and then continue down to this 5050, 5060 areas, which is the measured move of the 4-hour bears. Apart from that, first we will have to break down this 5191 area. Once we break down this 5191 area, The 516,465 area is a balance zone that we had on the 4-hour chart on the left hand side, and farther down based on the 4-hour chart we will be able to come down to this 5120 and then continue down to the 5109 to the 5091 level, and then farther down to the 5051 level. Now, if we are talking about the ATR of this particular move and we try to measure this, we will again see that right where the 4-hour bar has closed, this is actually matching up with the daily ATR. So there is a big possibility once we break this area down, we will straight come down to the 5051 areas. There may be a stair-step pattern that will get created in the middle, but then this will be the final target for the bears, at least for the 1:1. I will also keep in mind what is the 50% of this bar, which is at 5238, and I'll check out the 50% of this other bar, which is around the 5303 area. So even if the price wants to come back, they may get rejected in these two different lines, these two different 50% areas of the 4-hour charts. If we are looking at the breakout area, the 5238 area, so there is a possibility that we may come and retest this breakout area overnight and then try to fall down. But once we fall down and break down this area, we will keep coming down. We will try to get inside this 4-hour channel. And as we were talking, this has been a very tight channel. We broke out of this channel, and there is a big possibility now that we will come and create another extreme, and that can bring us to 5120, 5105, and finally to all these levels on the downside. Now let us take a look at the hourly chart. So this was one area which we were thinking may work as a support, and we broke that down and we actually came farther down. If you see, we went back and retested this area and then fell back down. So we have a 1 2 3 4 5 6 bar micro channel on the hourly chart at this point of time. This is really strong, and based on this we are expecting that there will be one more leg down. At least we may come down to the 5120 level, as we have been seeing in all the higher time frame charts, and then we can break down to these levels further. However, on the hourly chart, this 5146 may act as a very good area of support, considering that there is an hourly double bottom on the left hand side and we have not been able to close below that on the hourly chart. So there is a possibility that we may come down here and bounce, but if we get down below this 5120 level, we will come down. These are the different levels that we have on the hourly chart. The most important of them being the 5104 and the 5098 areas. If these breaks down and the 5089 breaks down, we can come down to this 5066 to the 5052 area. Based on the hourly chart, I will need to see that we are above this area, the 5241 area again, and we are trying to get above the 5262 to the 64 area. Then there is a possibility that we can come to this breakdown area, which is 5280. However, before that, we can also get a retest of this 5222 line, which is the breakdown that we had today. And then we can have a couple of legs on the hourly chart. We will see what happens overnight, and then the price may keep get rejected there. Break down the 5228 area again and keep coming down. Breakdown today is low, and then keep coming down to the subsequent levels. On the upside again, this area has to be taken out. If this area is taken out, we can get to this 5280 level, and after we are done with the 5280 level, we can come again to the 90 to the 94 area. And then the next level of resistance will be the 5312. If we can get over that 5304 line, we will get to this 5312 to the 5322 area, and subsequently to these levels up higher. But a move of that kind is highly improbable, just considering that this has been such a strong bear leg, and we are expecting that there will be a continuation of this down to the downside. And if we try to do a measured move, it will be very similar to what we had on the 4-hour chart, and this brings us exactly to the 5051 line again. Looking at the RTE chart, let us talk about the resistances first. This 5231 to 5236 will be the primary resistance. This will be the first resistance area. If we start moving up from there, then we will have some kind of resistance in this line, which is the 5246 or the 5245 area. After that, the 5251, which will be the next major line of resistance. And then we can move up to 5263, which was the double top today. If we move above this 5263 line, and we can get above this 5268 to the 70 area, I will keep this line here. If we can get above this, There's a possibility that we can see somewhere in between 78 to 82 and then go above to the 92 line and then keep moving up from there. Another resistance level on the RTA chart can be this one, which is a micro gap as well at 5304. And if we keep moving up from there, we will find somewhere ourselves in the 5320 to the 23 area and then back above to these levels. However, that looks like a very dim possibility. We may come up to the 5231 area and get rejected from there again, and then as we start breaking down these levels, we will come to the 5185 to the 82 area, finally to the 5166 area, and then farther down we will see 5160 to 5147. This is a very strong support we have on the left hand side, followed by 5130 and then 5120 area, which is the bottom of the week that we have. If we break that down, we know the drill. We are coming down to 5104, 5094, 5080. So if we are breaking down this 507980 area, the next target can be in the 5065 to the 63 area, and then the next support finally comes at the 5051 level, which is the measured move of the 4-hour chart that we saw. So that is all I have for now. I'll meet you guys again at 8:45 a.m. EST tomorrow morning for the pre-market call. I will end the video here today and I'll see you guys again tomorrow morning. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.